SF6, and today we have a different video. Today it's nothing about ranked or anything. It's more along the lines of, as you can see, the title. Why am I playing Street Fighter 6 now instead of Tekken 8? And before we get into that, if you like fighting game content, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Every follow is helpful, and I'm grateful for everybody that watch. Even if you don't subscribe and you still follow or you still watch it, even if it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, I'm okay with that. I'm very happy that y'all even took the time to look at the video, even if, like I said, even if it's 5 seconds. Um, with that being said, yes, I will be playing Street Fighter 6 for the foreseeable future. And before we get everything out the way, I mean, this is not a Street Fighter versus Tekken or Mortal Kombat versus. It's none of that. It's just the state of the game, right? The state of the game, and I want to be totally clear. Every game has its, fair share of stuff that's going on. However, sometimes you have to pick the lesser of the evils. And right now, Street Fighter 6, um, besides throw loops and Mai's running around terrorizing rank and stuff like that, Street Fighter is pretty healthy. It's pretty healthy. Um, Besides, they're not getting enough costumes and the whole, pay-per-view for, tournaments and stuff, which I don't believe in. Besides all that, I think Street Fighter is great. Right now, Tekken has a lot going on right now. If y'all wasn't aware, Harada left. Obviously, health issues. A lot of his, rivals, colleagues, and stuff passing away. It makes you think about your own mortality and your health and stuff like that. So kudos for him to taking the time out to, or not taking the time out to, taking the time to think about retirement and going through with it, and taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, because I think he's like 58, and I think he said he had like minor kidney problems. But being 58, you're not a spring chicken no more. So you got to take care of yourself. But to the actual game itself, I'm going to get people that's not gonna like what I'm about to say, and there's gonna be some people that's going to agree with me. So bear with me. I'm trying to make this video short, sweet, and concise as possible. Besides the characters that came out after the whole season 2 debacle, Falcaram, Armor King, I'm gonna put an asterisk by Armor King because there's some things that guy needs to be nerfed, and Miari's. Miari's she's very balanced. She has way more, negative on block strings and stuff like that. She's considered one of the bears because everything the bears do on block is death by launch. Not her, but it's death by punch. Falcaram is a very linear character. You can definitely, step around his stuff. Yeah, people are doing well. Like, everybody's gonna do well with their character, but it's still not as broken as we thought he was going to be, like he was in 7. Armor King was probably the most hyped character of season 2, and he has a lot going on. There's some things that he needs to be nerfed. Some things, not a lot, but some things that needs to be nerfed. Well, all characters need to be nerfed. All characters need to be nerfed. But besides the season 2 characters that came out after the debacle, things people say is getting better, but I think it's still the same. But here's my reasons. Okay, for one, you still have these same characters that are broken beyond belief. Anna is one of them. She is probably the standalone character, the strongest character of Tekken 8, you know, and she needs to get nerfed. Definitely needs to get nerfed. And then you have, you know, issues with the characters that's whiffing moves or something that's 2 plus or something that's 2 minus that shouldn't be that minus. Things that track and it doesn't really say in the description that they track. Um, those type of things they need to tracking needs to get fixed. Um, People are still being hyper aggressive. Um, they care nothing about fundamentals and stuff is out the window. Um, thing just it just needs to get fixed. No defensive capabilities. I don't think they need to get rid of the heat system. I think they need to rework this heat system. Take out rage arts. Um, we don't need rage arts. Everybody gets nerfed. Everybody on a I'm talking about like the same way. Like I'm talking about everybody nerfed. And it's still bad in my opinion, especially the hyper aggressiveness. You know what I mean? You should. Oh, and by the way, bunch of 50-50s. 50-50s. It's wild how many characters have stances with 50-50s, 50-50s. The 50-50s have 50-50s. It's insane, bro. I don't know what is going to happen since Harada had put his retirement packet in. I don't know what's going to happen. For right now, I just hate being stuck in a corner. Just people doing whatever they want. They don't even care. You're trying to do whatever you can and it's just not working. It's just horrible. It's very, very, very horrible. And it's not fun. It's not fun to play against. Now I know what y'all saying. Well, Street Fighter 6 kind of had the same thing. Not really. You couldn't really you have way more options that you can punish your opponent for being hyper aggressive than Tekken does. The heat system not only um the heat system just enhances people that's already being aggressive. So if they already aggressive and they go into heat, now they're like super aggressive. At least with Street Fighter 6 they have drive impact, which is like an offensive slash defensive thing. Um, Drive reversal is an actual defense thing if you're in a block string or you're on the ground. They have a bit of offensive things like your EX gauge, but there's a caveat. If you keep using it, you go into burnout mode. That means you take chip damage. Chip damage, you will lose the round. You take more damage on top of that, and you can't really do your EX moves. And you can use dry rush. Also, that will use your gauge too. So it's balanced. It's very, very balanced. Now, if they had like a dry gauge system where you didn't have a punishment system after that, then I think it would have been pretty broken. And on top of that, now I think if you break throws or tech throw or something, it takes some of their gauges, and some moves use more gauges too. So they're implementing things that can help you. Now, once they get throw loops out of there, then I think that Street Fighter 6 is I think it's in a healthy spot. I think it can be even healthier. But they kind of need to like tone down some characters, not every character. Some characters I'm talking about, they need buffs. Like nobody's playing Lily, nobody's playing Marissa. I was playing Marissa, what was it, season 1, and she was rivaling Zangief for like the biggest damage in the game. I think they were like 1A and 1B. Now she still do damage, but she really doesn't do that much damage. It's not as crazy. So it's kind of like opposite of Tekken. Like some characters actually need buffs to be viable in the game. Um, Whereas Tekken, everybody needs to be nerfed. Tracking needs to be nerfed. You need more defensive capabilities. How to stop people from being hyper aggressive. Like make them learn their their frame data stuff instead of just flow charting through their stuff and not really learning when they actually get beat down and get back into the wall or something like that. Like those are type of things that we actually need, you know. And I think some Tekken fans are actually will actually agree with that. Some of them will be like, nah, you just suck, you just da da da. Like you are probably the ones that's online, that's being aggressive, and you won't go to tournaments and do that same thing because you know you'll get checked by a pro and stuff like that. I get it. You know what I mean? You want to be the bully online, but you don't want to be the bully out there in the real field where the real pros play. But that's okay. You know what I mean? It's fine. But I will be playing Street Fighter 6 for the foreseeable future. I don't know when season 3 is coming out, plus the season 3 patch. Um, Once that's out, we're gonna look through that. And season 3, the next characters have to be bangers. They have to be bangers. If they're not bangers, then I might not play at all. And now, if the, if let me take that back. Let me take that back. I apologize. Let me take that back. The characters, they don't really have to be bangers. If they fix everything that needs to be fixed, and they nerf people that needs to be nerfed, fix tracking, fix moves that's whipping, too much stuff that's like block on plus, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. They fix that, Tekken will be in a better spot. If they can have 4 dud characters that comes out, I hope they don't. But if they have 4 characters that are like kind of duds, but the patch system, like the patch notes, fixes, I want to say like 85% of everything, then I'm on board. I'm on board. If they can give me something where you can stop people from being too hyper aggressive and have them actually play Tekken and not just button mash, or you're mashing when it's not your turn, stuff like that, that would be awesome. Yeah, mashing is gonna be part of the game, but it's like, come on, bro. You like, yeah, it's like it's like a, what is it? A necessary risk, or it's like, um, I forgot what it's called. But yeah, you kind of need to do it, but it's frowned upon. But yeah, right now I'm learning Terry, and I'm just want to make sure I get all my ducks in a row before I start going on rank with Terry. And I like Terry. Terry is very well balanced and stuff like that. And I didn't think I would, you know, play him, and he kind of fits my bill. In Tekken, I've been all around characters. Some characters are too hard to play, too many cancels, and the timing. That's why I play people easy like Asusena or Alyssa. Miyari's is easy to an extent. You got that Merengue, Moroso cancel. That's a little hard, but other than that, there's really no characters for me in Tekken that I can like actually like vibe with. But in Street Fighter 6, Tekken, or Street Fighter 6, Terry kind of vibes with me. I like Terry. He's very well rounded, and I will have a video coming out of my findings and what you want to do with him and stuff like that. So that's my reason why. Hopefully, I get some support. Not just for Street Fighter 6, but hopefully we can get Tekken 8 back on track, and yeah, start you know making some Street Fighter 6 content. So Don't mind the video with with the Zangief. That was like my first ever Street Fighter 6. That was like almost like 2 years ago. Jesus, like years some change. You know, I was new to it. I didn't know what I was doing. Don't mind that. But thank y'all for watching, man. Y'all take it easy, and I'll see y'all next video. Peace.